Mike, we've seen a series of American presidents go on all the anniversaries and give these big speeches, and if you look at the text of them, there's obviously lots of commonality. What struck you today about how President Obama framed not just the history, but a current relevance to America's role in the world?
You know, I think he did an admirable job. It's a difficult job. I mean, the air is thick with emotion here. It always is every day, but certainly on these big anniversaries, the 70th, 60th, 50th. I think it was important for the president to put an exclamation point on the line, we have to tell these stories. We have to tell their stories 70 years from now, 700 years from now. This is important. To the earlier point you just raised about, you know, the young men who were here, and many of them died here, and climbing the cliffs at Pointe du Hoc. On the 50th anniversary, I was fortunate enough to be introduced to the son of the colonel from the 25th Rangers who climbed those cliffs. I believe, Rick, was it Colonel Rudder?
Yes.
I met his son, and I asked the boy if his dad ever talked about that day, and he said no, very rarely did he talk about that day, but he would often mention one distinct memory that he had about that day, and this gets to, again, who we are and what we think about. Colonel Rudder said it went through his mind that largely a young German force here at that time, either very young or very old, with some combat-ready veterans in the middle, but very young or very old. That was basically what the German army was coming down to at that point in the war. The colonel was thinking about the 18 and 19-year-olds up top of Pointe du Hoc, a 100-foot cliff, looking out at the 25th Rangers climbing up the cliff, and the colonel was thinking to be in there at 18 from Dusseldorf or Berlin, thinking they're coming up the side of this cliff after me. He said they must have been petrified.
Yeah.